Hi everyone! A lot of you requested this tutorial on how to draw pine cones, and that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing I'm doing, I will put a central line. That's how I usually start all of my drawings. And now what I want to do, I want to outline the basic shape of the pine cones. I'm not trying to dig into the details now. I just want to understand what's the basic shape of this whole thing. So I like to put two lines, one on the top and one off the bottom of my drawing. And then I do the same on the right and up on the left sides. And now I just build the basic shape of my pine cone. So with short strokes, I already outlined the basic shape. So if I need to draw a scheme, for instance, it's going to be something like this. So you have this base here, you have this more of a round base, and then you have this cone upper part. Inside of this pine cone, we have this thing. So that's exactly what we have in the middle. And if you want to understand it better, we can already draw it. And now you have a better understanding what's a pine cone. And then we have all of these little things attached to the base. So that's exactly what we're going to draw today. There is a spiral pattern that I want to reproduce on my pine cone as well. So this spiral pattern is very typical to all of the pine cones. You can see it here as well. So these kind of lines that go in two different directions and they cross each other. So that's exactly what I will do here. I'm outlining each of these individual little things. So these little things are these. And if you want, you can draw one to guide you. So I just quickly show you what is the structure of this little thing here. This will really help me to understand what are all of these individual little things. So now you know that you need to place all of these little things. I'm just gradually adding them one by one. And what's important here is that those that are in the middle will be bigger than those that are on the sides. So this happens because of the perspective. So imagine this is your pine cone and it's round. And because of the perspective rules, what is situated here near the edges will be smaller. So that's how our eye works. So these elements will be smaller than these ones in the middle. See that? So when you place each one of these details in the middle, keep in mind they will be bigger than those that you see on the sides. So I'm outlining the central line of each one of these individual little shapes. And now I see that that's how this shape looks if I turn it. So that's exactly what happens here on the pine cone as well. So these little individual shapes, these are not all straight, but these are all attached to the pine cone from the center, and these are all turning around. So each one of these little things will be in a perspective. I'm outlining this shape here. Now what I'm doing, I'm just observing and adding more and more of these shapes one after the other. I usually start from the bottom and I just gradually go and build all of these little things here. So again, I'm working on each one of these individually, but I'm also seeing how they look as a whole. So see, it already looks quite realistic and quite finished. I think at this stage, I can really start to dig more into the details. I'm making the outline of each one of these even bolder, because these are in the center and I want them to stand out, because this is where our eye naturally should go, because this is in the center and these are bigger. So as you can see, this kind of a complex looking drawings are just a matter of time. So more you work on your illustration, it will look more detailed, more realistic. So I'm just making a lot of strokes and kind of darkening the inside of my pine cone. And I think I'm quite satisfied with this pinecone sketch. So now you know the structure of your pinecone, and we know all the individual elements that this pinecone is composed of. We know how the shape of this pinecone behaves, and don't forget about the grid structure that will really help you in the beginning to make the basic outline. So try to make these quick exercises as much as you can. Try to be consistent and get used to hold your pencil in your hands almost every day, and I promise it will allow you to become a better artist.